So the baby mama and the baby daddy pandemic has been going a little crazy and has become normalized. Nobody wants to be committed to anybody for the rest of their lives. Everybody just wants to have kids by as many people as possible. And I would have to say this is a very wrong route for our society to be taken. But I'm going to give my own opinion on the whole baby mama and baby daddy culture. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And let me know your opinions in the comment section below.
But guess what? The way you niggas talking, if they marry a baby mama, you gonna take them to the firing line. You niggas are fucking goofy.
We the only.
He's not gonna get there.
Hey,
He's not going to get that far.
Recently, I stumbled across a video by Anton Daniels. I've seen his videos, I've seen different videos of his, and generally I agree with most of the things that he says. But as a matter of time, I have come to realize that not everybody is perfect in the way they choose to go about their daily activities and their daily opinions. We all know that having children outside of wedlock, one, is not a flex, and two, is creating an unstable environment for your kids to be raised. Now, for my topic for today, in as much as the society or we are trying to promote baby mamas to be discriminated against and to be hated upon, there seems to be an opposite energy of hate or hatred being directed as men who choose, men who are single and don't have any babies, who choose to marry a woman that already has a child by another man, in which this man's father, this child's father, is not in the child's life. There seems to be an ongoing hate or a promotion of hate for men that choose to engage those type of women in a committed relationship.
What you're telling me?
Yes. The answer is yes.
So you saying if
Yes.
somebody, if you had a son and your son go, because we're talking about boys,
Yes.
you would disown him.
Yes.
Okay.
The answer was yes before you asked the question.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't have to disown mine because he knows there's a standard that we set years ago. You're brought up a certain way, plain and simple. There's certain things we discuss and we talk about. This is not gonna be something new to him. Honestly, when it comes down to it, when he's thinking about getting serious with somebody, they got to check off certain boxes.
Okay,
That's not one of them.
So kids do everything that they
Mhm.
they don't depart from it.
understanding. Hold up.
Hold on. One at a time. I can't hear you.
No.
The same thing to you. You got a son?
My son, he only 4, but my nephew is like my son. He's 25.
Your son is 4, right? Your
Yep.
son was in that situation where he dated a baby mama and was finna marry her. Would you disown him?
He's not gonna get that far.
No. You can't. You can't say that. If
Yes, you can, bro. We're not marrying them. We're not doing that. What I'm saying to you is,
Let's get Mr. Clark up in here.
look,
I'm a prime.
you setting it up. Hold on. You said
And this is no matter the circumstances. So if a woman had a child for a man, married, the man passed away, and she's single with a child, she shouldn't be married by any man. It just promotes that no matter the reason, if a woman has a child with a man and the man is not there for whatever reason, no single man should be with that person. And I firmly believe that everybody has the freedom of choice. If a man that is single and has no babies outside of wedlock chooses to be with a woman that has, I would not generally advise that, but I will be damned if I think that it is my place to call that man a particular name, especially when we all have our choices and especially when we all have our skeletons in the closet. And this is another problem. Anton Daniels doesn't believe that the same punishments is deserved for a man who has a child that's outside of wedlock compared to a woman. He believes that is two completely different things. Now, this is the fact I want to stress upon. Sierra's husband will be made fun of by people like Anton Daniels. But at the end of the day, somebody's life choices does not affect you.
We made the mistakes and he was present for a lot of it. So now in the last couple, when I say last couple years, in the last years, we've been trying to make sure he understands, like, this is what we did. Don't do this. But at the same time, he has free will. And what I hope and what I'm praying is that he looks from our mistakes, also sees what he is exposed to with how there are so many teenage pregnancies popping up with friends he knows, people he going to school with, praying that his environment teaches him what not to do, also learning from our mistakes. But at the end of the day, I cannot force him. His father cannot force him to make those decisions. Ultimately, what we want, I want you to live your life and have your own family. Ultimately, that's the goal I think we all want for our children, right? I think that's common sense. But at the same time, we do all know that they have free will. And that's all I'm saying.
And that's my whole point that I'm saying.
If somebody's son chooses to go a different path from the parents' upbringing, it is not the parents' right to disown that child, male or female. Will you agree with it? No. Would you hate it? Yes. But do you have the right to disown a child for something that is not bigger than heaven or hell, especially when you have a Christian mindset? The answer is no. You have no right to do that. There is nothing in this life that will make me disown my own child. Will I agree with everything that my child does? Of course not. Will he face the consequences of his actions? Of course, and he will do that alone. But at the end of the day, everybody has the freedom of choice, and I do not like the black and white version of people being judged, no matter what they have chosen to do with their lives, especially when it does not affect you. And even when it does affect you, but not you directly, you have no right to make the choice for somebody.
I'm a newlywed, and I have two amazing stepchildren, aged 5 and 8, and I'm always trying to do my best because I have no kids of my own. However, lately I realized that their mom's trying to put the two kids against us. For instance, my stepson has been instructed not to call me Heather, but to call me Heifer. Also, my stepdaughter poked me in the stomach one day and said, "Mommy says you're too big and eat all the food here, so there's nothing left for us." And it really hurts my feelings, and I want to know, how do I get her to stop putting the kids against us?
I've dealt with all of that. I have dealt with all of that, and it's unfortunate that any woman would use her child in that way. I think more than anything, you should always, as a parent, teach your child what is right. Yes. And it's up to you to teach the children what is right, and it's up to your husband to teach them what is right. Let me add one thing to that. Let me say this. One thing about love, it's hard to keep loving somebody and they keep hating you. Yes. Right. Eventually, they will come around. Eventually, they will come around. Be consistent and just keep loving that child. They will eventually, you don't have to ever say anything bad, ever. Please don't do that. You just be consistent, keep loving that child, and they will see for themselves one day. I promise you that. I promise you that.
Now, as an advice to the baby mamas and the baby daddies out there, I do believe that if you have a child outside wedlock, if you want to settle down in a marital relationship or in a committed relationship, I believe that your target market should be for men and women that also have children outside of wedlock. That is my personal opinion. Now, others will say that a man doesn't need to be with a woman who's had a child, even though he has a child, because men and women are different. That's your opinion. I think either way, it's still going to be broken homes because somebody got to be with somebody. And if somebody chooses to be by themselves, is also their choice, as long as they make the best healthy decision for themselves. And if disowning your own family members, cutting off relationship with friends because they refuse to adhere to a specific ideal of yours, that has more to do with you and your sense of pride and your sense of embarrassment, because you have opened your mouth to talk so highly of yourself that you could never see that what you do and what you insult and what you hate is what you generally end up becoming or attracting into your circle. Don't have kids outside wedlock, please. If you missed a couple shots, you were lucky, but retrace the actions that led to that same result and never repeat it again. And if you happen to find yourself in the midst of all these circumstances, make the healthy decision not only for you but for the family that you want to bring into this world, and make sure that you have the capability to deal with what comes next after you've made the decision. We can all say that something is wrong and it should not be promoted, but what I'm not about to do is judge somebody who wants to do something with a particular group of men or women that you personally hate, despite the fact that the person that you love is even your family member. Because at the end of the day, you may have brought them into this world, You may have raised them to be the best person or the best version of themselves that they can possibly be. But at the end of the day, it is not your life that will be lived. It is theirs.